So in today's episode, I want to talk to you guys briefly about clinical depression, also called MDD, that's major depressive disorder, and just to highlight a few interesting and important facts because I feel like this is such a misunderstood, still highly stigmatized disorder that we need to shed light on. So just to begin, quick symptom check. It doesn't have like a dramatic onset. You don't like wake up with the flu and you wake up with depression. So it's not something that most people can like immediately detect. It's a gradual thing, like a period of 2 weeks straight. You will be sad every day, but it's just not just sadness. It's a little bit more like you have feelings of hopelessness. You have a lack of motivation into things that you used to really enjoy. Your food cycle changes. You either stop eating or you eat a lot more. So that's weight gain or weight loss. You begin to have really sad and like harmful thoughts. You can be considering suicide. You may have even attempted suicide, just harming yourself, isolating yourself from like your friends, your family, and just like turning into yourself and, cutting off the whole world. And so for like a period of 2 weeks straight, that would be called an episode. And no, I'm not a psychologist, but I am a pharmacist, and we do get trained in the treatment side of things. However, I want you guys to be aware of even just the symptoms. If you have friends or family that are like putting on weight, don't just be like, oh, you're eating too much. Or, be sensitive, pay attention. There may be something underlying there. And yeah, if you feel any of these things, you need to get out, find somebody to talk to. And I know that's super hard because you feel shy and ashamed even, like, how come I'm not coping? Why is everyone else fine and I'm not? And trust me, nobody's fine. Like, everyone's coping in some way. But usually strangers are the best because you feel like there's not that vulnerability of like the person knowing you and like judging you in return. So go to a complete stranger psychologist somewhere, book an appointment and just talk. You lose nothing. And you gain everything. They're going to help you with like treatment options and, getting yourself back in there. But just a quick awareness. I know I was depressed recently for a while. And it's really the hardest thing when people don't even understand. I would tell my sister and she'd just be like, get over it. Or like, pray. And yes, prayer is such a help, and it really like boosts your morale, and it turns your focus away from the situation onto like God who can help you and all of that good stuff. But it is an actual disorder. Do not shy away from feeling like, I can handle it by myself. Most people need help, and so you need to go get it. I hope this helps somebody. If you have more comments or questions, comment below. All of that good stuff. Okay, yeah. And then you could have like forgetfulness and just forgetting little things like, you were gonna go do something today and now all of a sudden you forgot, or you just feel like you're losing track of stuff. And then also fatigue. So you have this sluggish mood and like your attitude is low. And all these things are not your usual self, because obviously there's lazy people who are always lazy, and then there's a symptom of fatigue and laziness. So you become that during this moment. So it's really important to start paying attention to signs and symptoms. And if you do find yourself consecutively feeling this way, my first advice is to journal it. So get yourself a journal. That way, when you do go see somebody or speak to someone, you already have stuff to show, and you can say, on this day, this is how I was feeling. On that day, this is how I felt. And if you don't want like an actual diary or journal, you could use your phone. Most smartphones nowadays have like a notepad function or like a diary. You could download an app or something. But yeah, write it down, document it, so that there's some sort of evidence and like you can see a cycle or repetitive behavior, and then hang on, wait, I might be actually getting going through a depressive cycle or episode. And the fact that they come and sometimes go on their own, if you're lucky, well, maybe not lucky, but if it's mild, means that sometimes you like disregard it as an actual thing. But bear in mind, because there's treatment options, there's pharmacological therapy, and then there's non-pharmacological therapy. So you may not directly need to go on like Prozac or something. Sometimes all you need to do is vent. You will not believe the amount of therapy that is involved in venting. Sometimes all you need is an escape, somebody to talk to, somebody to listen and acknowledge and hear you and indulge you, you know, let them know that you are heard, you are understood, like they empathize and they're really sad and it's an unfortunate situation. And, you know, being heard is so therapeutic. That alone could get you out. So definitely get a journal, a diary, and like write stuff down. Speak to somebody who you trust. If you don't have anyone close, definitely go to like a stranger psychologist and vent the heck out. I promise you that is therapy in itself. And if you then need medication, then they will either refer you to like a psychiatrist or somebody else who can prescribe and medicate you. But again, a little parenthesis, brackets. A little bracket is if you're on treatment, please get reviewed regularly. Depression is not meant to be something that you're on for life. Some people have repeat scripts, and we see it all the time in the pharmacy, and they keep on coming back for more and more and more year in and year out. And that's technically wrong. I mean, you can get to a level of depression which is like chronic, but most of the time it's just a lack of therapy adjustment. You know, your initial prescriber just doesn't have the time, the care, or the knowledge, the awareness to actually down prescribe and titrate you off. Like you're supposed to be tapering off to a point where you get back to not taking any medication. So also have that reviewed. Ask them, you know, every 6 months, like, can we try lowering the dose? Can we try weaning me off? Can we try alternative therapies, which there are loads of? But yeah, and if all of that fails, guys, message me, private message me. I will refer you to good folks. Thank God I have the best friend who is a psychologist. She has been oodles of help to me, just giving me personal advice. So definitely I'll get you a referral. I'll help you find somebody, but you need to have that step, crossing over, finding somebody and taking that leap of faith to help yourself. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on clinical depression. I hope it helps somebody. Let's get a conversation started. Comment below. Tell me about your stories and let's crack it down. Let's shed light on it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, yeah. And then you could have like forgetfulness and just forgetting little things.